Today at Let's Talk Marketplace, it's all about
the latest user figures of Amazon and Shein and Temu,
and everything that Valerie and I are currently building for you in our Marketplace universe. Speaking of which, have you subscribed to the newsletter yet? Have fun listening. Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello, everyone. My dear Let's Talk Marketplace fans. It's nice you turned in again. You've become part of our own little A/B test because today we're recording this episode twice, once in German and once in English. Why are we doing that, Valerie?
Yeah, well, also a very warm welcome from my side. Why do we do this? Actually, this is our compromise of like, we want to talk with you about our story, that you get to know us better, and then we were like, our usually alternating episode will be in German, and I was like, yeah, but I get so many questions from internationals these days. We should do this in English. And then we were like, let's think about it. And then 1 hour later was like, yeah, let's do two. Yeah, okay, let's do two. So this is our second recording today. And we want to talk about the Marketplace universe and what we're working on, what you can look forward to in the future. And we wanted just to inform you all.
Yeah, our German and our international listeners alike. The plan is that this second recording is going to be just the same as the first one, but in English. But I get the feeling that it won't be. It will be, a bit different because anytime we get talking, things turn out differently sooner or later. So let's see.
Overall, the topic is the same.
Yeah, the main topic is the same, but let's see in what tangents we go off on.
True story.
Yeah, but Valerie, actually we're a bit behind the times because we could use some cool live translation AI tools, couldn't we?
Yeah,
people already did.
I mean, now we start to use AI transcription already from our podcast recording tool. But yeah, as Alex Graf experimented with them at Kassenzone a few weeks ago, that was really impressive to get this, really live translation, whatever.
And then watch Alex speaking French and Italian and whatever. And have you not?
Yeah, but I think we might speak too fast. Let's see.
I think so. Yeah.
We do it like step by step, as we always want to do it. But speaking about Alex Graf, I was with Alex Graf in the Capital magazine. It's a German magazine.
Yeah, it's like, to explain, is one of the most renowned German economic magazines, I would say. Been on the market for years and years and years, and so Valerie is rightly proud. To be.
I mentioned in an article about Zalando and their actual future strategy and stuff, and I mentioned as a marketplace expert there. Yeah, yes, I'm
pretty
really
cool.
Proud.
And that's fine.
Yeah, we should celebrate this even more.
That's
right. I think also that Germans, like, we are German. Germans, they're like often not celebrating what they succeeded in. It's like, yeah, I did this. It's okay. It's like,
a lot of understatement going on.
Yeah,
that's true.
I also need to push Ingrid sometimes to celebrate.
Yes, I'm totally German when it comes to that. There's this joke saying that the highest praise that a German can give you is, it's not bad. So that's the highest praise we're capable of, and that's totally me.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, I need to push her.
Something like that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We are also in the process of founding our company. I mean, it's like topic of the week, but if I want to celebrate this, I need to push her to a dinner afterwards. Like, let's celebrate this. And she was like, "We just found it." I was like, "Yes, this is
that's the
really
point.
Crazy."
Yeah, and I'm more like, we can celebrate, if we're still here in half a year.
Yeah.
that's reason to celebrate, is it? Yeah. So I guess we
do it now.
Compromising in lots of different ways, which is sort of the point of founding together a company. Yeah. Speaking of celebrating, do we have people to celebrate and moving and shaking throughout the industry today?
Yeah, there is a small update for personal news, HR news, I would say. Vanessa Ostertag is the new director marketplace at Home24. She comes from Mirakl and replaces Alisa Mattes, who is going on maternity leave.
We met her at the Mirakl Summit.
Yeah, she looks pretty beautiful. Yeah. Pascal Vetter was head of marketplace at Weltbild and is moving to Hammer Sports. And Tom Bauknecht, who worked at Snox until the end of last year, starts as a retail media expert at TradeByte.
Yeah, TradeByte as always. Yeah, buying left and right all the interesting marketplace people. Sooner or later having their spot at TradeByte, I think. Right. So that was our personal carousel for this week. Shall we have a look at the news of last week?
Of course.
Newsflash. Right. One look from the German market, the marketplace of Obi, one of the biggest DIY and garden retailer chains in Germany, one of the big three, is now live. It took a little longer. I think I spotted the first signs of an Obi marketplace, I think some 2 years ago or something. But now the platform is officially live. Around 10,000 partner products already online, and the partner team is already busy looking for new sellers. So if you are in the DIY industry and targeting the German market, this is something you might look out for, because Obi is really is one of those household names you don't get around in the German DIY sector, I think. So pretty interesting that they made a marketplace.
Yeah, and finally, there's another new DIY and tools marketplace, because we see that, yeah, there's like, as you know, there's like so much moving and changing in the marketplace industry, and there are more mature marketplace categories, for example, like fashion. They are more like conglomerating and like decreasing, and like there's not so many more marketplace coming up. And for other categories like DIY, home improvement, all those categories, they are really growing these days. And it's like also not the first marketplace like this who, yeah, newly ramped up recently. And I'm really glad to see that. This is also what we realized at the Mirakl Summit last week, where we have been, that, yeah, there's like a lot of movement in this area.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It was confirmed that Zooplus is building their marketplace. We already knew that from some job descriptions that they had put out, but it was official now. And also, for example, very interesting is Popken Fashion, who bought Happy Size last year from the Klinger insolvency, and they're building a pretty exciting plus size fashion marketplace there. It's going to start, or it's supposed to start in the last quarter of 2024. So that's going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, and I would say they are recreating it. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Happy Size has been a marketplace, but it's sort of, sleeping at the moment, on hold. But it will be reopened in a new fashion. So we'll see. Talk about fashion. Also interesting. Amazon is changing the sales fees for clothing and accessory category in the Pan-EU marketplaces as of May 15. And sales fees will decrease from 15% now to then 8%. This is only valid for products that are being sold for less than 15 euro. So the lowest category. But interesting reduction, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's for Europe starting at the 15th of May. I think that's pretty interesting overall. Amazon, I mean, had overall always this flat fee of 15% for fashion, and now they are decreasing it to 8% for price entry products, right, till 15 euro sales price. And I mean, on the one hand, this is somehow an answer or a trial for an answer to Shemu, Temu and Shein.
Oh, it's actually a good idea to create that, like as like GAFA, like Shemu. That's. I think we should coin that. That phrase. That's good.
Sounds more like shame on you, aber
Okay, so Shein and Temu, yes.
Shein and Temu. And yeah, this is like somehow an answer on that. And at the same time, other marketplaces for fashion, they already had this step-by-step commission based on the average sales price in those price buckets, like Zalando, About You, they already have this. And I think it's a better opportunity for Amazon sellers to sell low price entry products, especially in kids fashion, in basic products, in underwear, in socks, etc. And at the same time, yeah, it's like uh, from 15 to 8% for products to 15 euro. Yeah, it's nice, but overall the logistic
It's not
costs
that
are
much.
still so high compared to this, and the fixed freight costs are the big cost point in this position. So I don't know how it will affect, but overall I think it's a nice
Yeah, PSU
change.
profits from that, because I mean that is an area that is very much dominated by Chinese players, of course, on Amazon already. So they may just be happy to get an even easier entry point into the European market. But on the other hand, they might not need that for very long because speaking of Shemu, there have been some figures there because Temu and Shein are now big enough in the EU that they fall under the Digital Services Act that has been put out by the EU last year, I think, and which obliges big platforms, big digital platforms, to reveal their user numbers. And according to that, Temu is now reaching 75 million users per month in the EU, and Shein is reaching 108 million users. To compare, Amazon in the same region has a reach of 181 million users. So it took Temu around about 2 years to get nearly half as many users in the EU as Amazon has accumulated in the last 20 years, which is really astonishing
Yeah,
and yeah,
insane.
frightening.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's that's really crazy. And I mean, how they do it also, like with the apps and their like gamification possibilities. Yeah, it's really crazy how good they do this to keep their customers inside of their apps and stores. Yeah, let's see how it will evolve. I mean, there's a lot of cash in the background, and yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots of advertising spendings, of course.
Mm.
We'll see how that turns out as soon as this advertising money is pulled down. Sooner or later, it will have to be, but at the moment, they are growing like crazy. Yeah, that's it for my news. I think we can talk a little bit about us, even though I don't generally like that kind of thing.
Topic of the week.
So, what are we doing at the Marketplace Universe? Valerie, you're so much better at self marketing, so why don't you start?
That's the
What
reason
are
why
we
we
doing
work
there?
together, and I'm doing marketing and
Yes.
sales, and you do
Mm-hmm.
more the content queen topics, right?
Yes. Mm,
Content
definitely.
and technical
Mm-hmm.
podcasting tools.
Yeah,
Well,
that's me.
what we do, Ingrid and me, we are founding a company called Marketplace Universe, and we are already working with you, like in it already. And
Mm.
yeah, we are creating the home for all marketplace people in Europe. So we really want to create a community where you can exchange, where you can connect, where you get all the insights about the European B2C marketplace business, and yeah, where you feel yourself at home, because the other ones are similar to you, exchanging their knowledge, and where you can connect, get insights. Yeah, I'm repeating, but as I said before, repeating is always very, very important. And we started our newsletter
Yes, we did.
today. Yeah.
Yes, today. I mean, we are at the moment when we're recording this, we are in directly starting it, because it's going to go out in the next half hour or something. Fingers crossed that this works out and that active campaign is, nice to us and works the way it should be. So yes, our newsletter has started. If you haven't subscribed to it, you might consider doing that now. Just go to www.marketplace-universe.com/newsletter. So very easy, because then you will get our Marketplace Universe Weekly, which is our newsletter, its name, and it's going to come out every Monday at around about 11 a.m. and bring you all our news that we put together from the marketplace business, the most interesting deep dives that we're writing about, the most interesting insights that we gather from the industry, from our many talks with people, but also our marketplace quadrants that many of you have already been sharing. Valerie's idea of to show the whole world of the most important or most relevant marketplaces in one category, in just one easy to look at graphic. That's our quadrants, and we're going to give you the latest updates on those in our newsletter as well. But also news about people changing their jobs inside the marketplace business. And there might be one or two interesting goodies from our sponsors as well, if they have something nice to offer to you marketplace people. So all of that in one newsletter every week.
Yes, that's true. And yeah, in
something
regards,
that I'm pretty proud of, actually.
Yeah, you can be so proud of it because you did this finally. Because I think I had the newsletter topic already on my idea list for, I don't know, 2 years. But to be very honest, I was always like way too like crowded with other tasks, and I don't like to write. And as Ingrid is a journalist and did already so many different newsletters herself, I was like, great, we connect together, we work together, she can write a newsletter. And
you do that stuff.
yeah, and that's what we starting today, our newsletter. We also want to share with you later about our story behind, like why Ingrid and me, where did we meet? But what's overall pretty clear is that we connect so well and that we have like different strengths, and that we find always solutions, even if we are not the same, if we don't have the same opinion.
Yeah, if you don't start out in the same opinion, that's the nice thing. Yeah, we come from different backgrounds. We come from, and so we have different ideas about some things, and also different values here and there. Where we just say, okay, this is more important to me. This is more important to you, but we can talk about these differences very openly, which I am really happy about, because no one is getting, I don't know, hurt by anything that the other one says. Just it's always a very open professional discussion, and then we come to some kind of compromise conclusion, or we even arrive sooner or later at the same ideas about one of those topics that we're working on. So this is why we're pushing each other very well, always to the next step.
Yeah. And about pushing, what will we push next is our website. So newsletter was that 2, 3, I don't know. And so what we already do actually is that we share our reach, and that we offer our reach on LinkedIn, on the podcast, and now also on the newsletter to our partners and sponsors. So for example, we had Allego as a marketplace in the past weeks as a partner, where we shared insights on the podcast episode, in our LinkedIn articles, and we will in the future also offer webinars for you to promote your service, your marketplace service, your marketplace overall, and share some insights. So we will also offer in the future some webinars where we share insights about interesting stories, because we always have the mission of and the saying of we don't do bullshit. So we just do open and honest questions, asking the real things, and the background behind, so that our listeners, that we ask the questions our listeners would ask
themselves. That's sort of the point.
And so webinars are the next step, and yeah, if everyone tells you ever, if you found and if you need to start with a website, that's bullshit, because we started already, I don't know, 4 months ago, and we still don't have a website yet. Yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now we just need one, because
Yeah.
what we realized is that we are offering a lot of things to you, our audience, that are connected to content. So we have our quadrants, we have longer articles with insights about the marketplace business, we have the news, of course, our podcast as well. And there's so many things that we can talk about and want to talk about. And sometimes it is a bit frustrating for me as a journalist to just put that out on LinkedIn and then it's gone in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just it gets rolled over by the feed and other things are happening. And sometimes you just want to add maybe some more information on a topic that you have already talked about, or you just want to reshare things. And this is something that our website will be helpful. And so
Yeah.
this is when we finally came to the conclusion that we said, okay, we need a website
You
now.
know what I
We
kind
didn't
of
need it at the
like,
start, but now we do.
what I imagine for a picture is like, we already created an outdoor area with like different tents, like a podcast tent, a newsletter
Mm-hmm.
tent, and now we are building the house, because
The house around
the
it,
outdoor
yes.
events, like there are already plenty of people, the marketplace only people who are coming from their tent.
Mm-hmm.
And now the website is the house where we bring you together, where we connect you with each other, because this is my heart mission, is like really to connect marketplace people. My background is that I'm a marketplace expert. I mean, I didn't grow up like this, right? I studied fashion textile management originally, and I am consultant in marketplace business. I'm an ex-Amazonian. I worked for a brand, for a fashion brand, and I was so alone when I started a marketplace business in our brand, when I worked for this brand. And I also see this from so many clients and brands, that you're doing millions turnover in marketplace business, and then you're two or three people in your team, with like in a company with like hundreds, thousands of people. And sometimes you just want to exchange with others who have the same issues and challenges as you do. And sometimes you just want to, share and ask someone who has the same mission as you, maybe for another brand, but they have, this, the same values. And yes, I love to see how we see you connecting us already on events,
Mm.
on webinars. And when we are on events, like it's always like, coming, like it's already, the marketplace only created and founded already a family kind of,
Mm.
and we educated mainly fashion and sports brands and service partners on the marketplace business. And the marketplace only will also, courses will also evolve back again, maybe not in those 3 months turning courses, but maybe 1 or 2 day courses, online courses, where we
Yeah, we're still
educate
working
you
on
on,
that.
on
So
different
yeah.
topics, like business case calculating, marketplace expansion on different categories, retail media, etc. So we would love to know what would support you, what is like your focus topic where you want to learn more.
Mm.
That's really important for us, because the marketplace only will also be integrated into marketplace universe as a next step. What else do we have, Ingrid?
Well, I was thinking about this as you were talking, because the point for me to go into this universe idea was that when I was still working as a classical journalist for an economic newspaper in Germany, I always had this problem that I could always only show my readers or my listeners like one small part of what they needed for their business, but I couldn't go over that. And now we are sort of trying to create a universe in which you can find anything you need for your marketplace business job. Yeah, what you need there. So information on the one hand, education with webinars and the uni courses, but also new jobs, for example. Yeah, we're working on a jobs and talents platform, because we are always getting that many requests from the industry asking us, I'm looking for a new marketplace manager. Do you know someone who is on the lookout at the moment? Or on the other hand, marketplace managers who want to take the next step but are not sure where to go next. And they come to us and say, okay, do you know any interesting job offers at the moment? So this is something that we want to combine on our website as well with the Jobs and Talents platform. So that might be step number 4,
Yeah.
basically, I think.
Yeah.
And this is really this is the idea behind it. We look at what do you, our audience, need. Yeah, what are you talking about? What are you bringing to us, and how can we cater to that? So this is a work in progress, because whenever we get input from your side, we think about, okay, how can we do that? What can
Yeah.
we do about that? And the Jobs and Talents is something that I realized last week on the Mirakl Platform Summit in Munich, one of the biggest, bigger events in the marketplace business in Germany. Lots of people talk to me about that, because lots of people ask me, what are you doing now? What are you doing together with Valerie? What are you working on? And whenever I said, yeah, Jobs and Talents, everyone was like, oh, interesting. Keep me updated,
Yeah.
because this is
Yeah.
such a big topic for so many people at the moment. So
Yeah.
this is something we want to cater to.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like an HR partner on the side, like a headhunter. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like, can you combine like research this, research as, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is like right now, it's like there's like some papers flying around in my office, and which is my desktop in my living room, and um and I'm like, yeah, there was something. There was a name somewhere. Like,
Yes.
could they match? It's like, it's really chaotic. And this is like not how it should be. And what I love already is like connecting you with other people. So what I did in the past already was like connecting brands with marketplace service partners, with marketplaces with other service partners. So like this, like, I have this 360-degree overview about like, how does a marketplace think? How does a service partner think? What do they need? And as well,
Mm.
brands. And yeah, we bring you all together, connect you as matchmakers, I would say. That's the proper name for it. And how we will do this exactly in the future and do it even better, we don't know yet. But we are in the process of doing so, and we're doing step by step, because right
Yeah.
now we are just the two of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
okay,
with a
we
little bit
have
of freelance
we
help in the
have freelance
background, but
support, but yeah, yeah,
yeah, but the decisions are on us. And I think the main, because you said it's all at the moment, it's a bit chaotic, either on your desk or my desk, or in your head or my head.
mm,
Yeah, all that information that comes together. And I think one of the challenges that we have for the next few months is to get that kind of thing out of our heads. Yeah,
yeah.
to make that more accessible to more people and more easily accessible. So this is something that this is always the next step, is like, it's connecting people. That sounds so easy, but how do you do it, like, really, how do you do it like on paper? And this is something that we're working on all the time. And especially, and also what you said about connecting marketplaces with brands or with service providers, this is also something that you have already been doing as a side business, which we can go much better and much deeper into, I think.
That's true, but also
Mm.
what we heard is like, yeah, can you like do an overview about all the marketplaces and la la la? And it's like, yeah, but it's
Mm.
changing like every 2 weeks. And to be honest, or can you do it like an overview about all the service partners and like a recommendation engine or something? I was like, no, I can't, because there is not this one golden way for everyone. It's so
Yeah.
dependent on the brand, on the category, on the countries, on the background, on so many different angles. There is like no, like, sadly there is no one fits all solution.
No.
Or good for us, there's no one fits all solution.
That's why what I always say when I present our quadrants. I always say this is the start of your research, not the end. Yeah, if I say like
Yeah,
these are the 61 most important, I don't know, fashion marketplaces in Europe, this is the starting point, and
yeah,
then you can take this list of 61 whatever, and then you go into depth analyze and check
yeah,
which of those marketplaces might be the right ones for you. But yeah, the work starts there. Not doesn't
definitely.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ingrid, now we know roughly how our plans are. We also want
Hmm.
to like bring this in a kind of community together. We still don't know how, but it's on our plan and mission. So yeah. And if you have any add-ons, wishes on that one, let us know. We will try to integrate and think about it. But Ingrid, like, let's go a bit backwards because I also often hear like, yeah, Ingrid and you, why do you work together? And like, how do you met? And so
Yes.
tell us, how did we met?
We met 3 years ago on LinkedIn, actually. You wrote to me because I think you stumbled over my profile. It was like, oh, a journalist writing about the German marketplace business. That is something that I might be interested to get to know too. Yeah. So you wrote me, and I was like, on the other hand, was like, oh, a female marketplace expert. How great! Because there's all those very good but also very male people on my events, always talking about marketplaces, and I wanted to have a bit more diversity. So we got to know each other, and I soon realized that there's a lot of knowledge there, a lot of competence, and so we had an interview, and then I had you on my first event, and so and we always grew to respect each other's competence and knowledge in that area more and more and more. And I think we also just generally liked each other. And so we, I think 2 years ago, when I was thinking about starting a marketplace podcast, you were sort of my natural choice for the first person to ask if you wanted to do that with
Hmm.
me, and which came at the right point in your life, I think.
Yeah, that's
To
true.
mm.
Because I mean, I was back then already like a consultant for marketplace business and my own business, and there was like always this idea of like doing a newsletter and podcast, like all the things you should do, right? And
Mm.
then I was like, newsletter, oh, writing, oh, I don't know, like every week, oh no, and then maybe even more, and then my one of my team members, she said like, hey Valerie, a podcast would really fit well to you. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. I would also like to do a podcast, but I don't want to do all the work behind it. Like, because I heard recently like from someone like from Florian Fette as well. He said like, yeah, but it's like really a lot of work. You have like do
Yeah, it
this. And I was
is.
like, oh shit, I had no idea. Um so, and then he was like, and you have to write SEO texts about the episode. And I was like, oh no, writing again. And then there came Ingrid up and she was like, let's do a podcast together. And I was like, and I will do all the work. I was like, yes, great. And
Yeah.
then we started exactly 2 years ago. I think maybe
Mhm.
to God, maybe today, the Let's Talk Marketplace podcast, which you are listening to now, in our 60th episode. And it's like
Mhm.
60A, right?
Yes.
Or 60B. Um,
60B, I think.
mm.
60E for English.
And yeah, that's where our podcast thing started, where I did it for like marketing reasons mainly, and Ingrid
Mm.
in your full-time job, right?
Yes, it was just part because I thought the podcast wave was going through the whole media area, B2B media at that time. And I thought, okay, it might be really good to start one now because there were not that many marketplace podcasts out there. There was actually just AOM by Florian and nothing much else, at least in the DACH region. And so I thought, okay, let's do that. And we started out the bi-weekly podcast. Today we're doing it weekly, which went more smoothly than I thought, actually, that transition. But it's working out quite well. And when last year, or at the end of last year, both of us were sort of thinking, okay, we could do with a makeover, with a business makeover. We could do something new. We could maybe reinvent ourselves in a different way. Then it was sort of natural to turn to each other and say, like, what about doing something together?
Yeah, actually, the first ideas, I mean, were always, I think, bubbling in our minds. And then last
Mm,
summer, we went on a core concert, and
acquire, yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
and a choir. Oh yeah, and then I was a bit frustrated about my marketplace uni business because last year was a really tough year, to be very honest.
Mm.
And yeah, you already knew that yeah, the internet world will end, right?
It was sort of in the stars, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I wasn't happy about that. So we were just throwing around ideas together, what we might do.
And what we wish
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that was actually the point. We wish, and I was like, I wish like to create this marketplace community to bring people together even more. And it was sort of your plan too. And then we were like, maybe we should think about doing something together. And that was like just a loose end in July, I think. But it was like it came up. Then we did the marketplace convention, the keynote together on the conference, and all the people already thought what we are doing, that we are working together, which we somehow did, but not on a, I would say, official level. And then the internet world stopped, and we took over the podcast, as you said. Actually, technically, Ingrid took it over because I'm doing more the business case founding part.
Which I'm very grateful for, just for the record,
Yeah, because otherwise we wouldn't earn any money.
Yes, I rather fight with Apple Analytics, which is a pain in the ass, but I'd rather fight with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I rather write invoices.
Yes. Which I'm not very good at, canonically.
True. That's true. I'm still missing yours.
Yes, I know.
So you I mean, I think you also already can hear it, right? We are a great team. We are adding up our strengths, and if I don't want to write, Ingrid loves to write. And if she doesn't want to write invoices, I love to write invoices. So
let's just do the whole sales process,
our sales process or our founding process, right? Yes. Because we are also in the middle of founding our together company in Germany, which is, yay. It's really...
everything they tell you about German bureaucracy is true.
Yeah. And it takes long.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's expensive. But we will come to that, and we will make it. And that's actually what we do and why we do it. And I think you can hear it. We love what we do, and we love to connect the marketplace business. We love the people in the business, not everyone, but most of them. And if we don't love them, then we pretty often have to say, we don't work with them, because that's the best of like being your own boss. It's like you can decide with whom you want to work on which project. And sometimes it's a bit difficult to say no, because there are so many ideas and possibilities, and coming back to our core, that's sometimes a challenge. And to do this with the capacity we do have, and at the same time, it's just amazing. And if we don't like someone, could also be happen, right? We don't love. We just there's like we also have people we don't like as much. We almost always have the same feeling about it.
The same feeling about
that's
that.
So that's interesting. If I say like, there's a like new client, I'm not sure about it. And then she's like, I'm also not so sure about it. It's like, And what we learned is like, trust your gut feeling. If you have like if your gut feeling tells you before, like, I'm not so sure, then just don't do it. You will pay afterwards in whatever time, fun, joy, whatever. Money. Also. So,
I guess that was our update on what's happening at the moment. And just for the record, we're very grateful for you, our listeners, that you're supporting us with listening to us, with commenting, with giving your us your insights,
reading us.
Reading us. You're reading us. If just to remind you, marketplace-universe.com/newsletter. Okay.
Yes.
So. Right. So that's from our engine room, I would say, at the moment. What are we doing next week, probably?
Next week, we have Mirakl Thomas as our guest in our English-speaking episode. By the way, our newsletter is in English.
Yes.
That's pretty important. And our website and stuff, all this too. Mirakl Thomas will come next week. We will travel to the United Emirates. And we will talk about the marketplace business in the Emirates with Mirakl. She's an ex-Amazonian, as I am. And looking forward to speak with her about it.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting episode, I think. So don't miss that. Tune in. Subscribe. to us, to our newsletter, but also on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you hear us. And thanks for listening. And we hear each other next week.
Bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.